Hi everyone, it's me Cecilia, and as you can see by all the trees, we are not on Svalbard. We are in Norway, staying in a little treehouse located in the middle of a frozen lake. And let me tell you, this cabin resembles something like out of a fairy tale.
We woke up to a woodpecker pecking on the cabin. It started so early. Like right next. Do 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 do. I'm like, what? Oh my god. There is an ekorre. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I read that there's food to give to the birds. We are truly in the woods. Okay, I'm gonna make some coffee and then we're gonna go outside and feed the birds and the ekorrar. I have never seen anything cuter in my entire life. This is so adorable. And for anyone being like, oh, instant coffee, I love this instant coffee. I think it tastes divine. We also have a pair of binoculars. The squirrel is by the window. This is not a drill. Oh, herregud, den tittar in. Oh my god, it's looking in. Oh, I just missed it. Come back, for God's sake. I think it's waiting for food.
We arrived late the night before to a full moon shining bright, illuminating the snow-covered landscape. Lanterns were lit, leading the way over the frozen ground, through the deep snow and into the small forest in the middle of the lake.
The cabin is located right in there, in those trees. They light these little torches all the way. And it's just like, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale. This is what they write stories about. It's getting cold. I can feel my hair is freezing and I'm getting that kind of like raspy throat that you get when it's really cold outside. It's a very dry kind of cold, but this is unreal. I feel like I should whisper because it's so quiet.
The snowy path takes you through the little forest until you reach a staircase well hidden in the trees. The silence was almost deafening, and it felt like the whole forest must have been deserted. But as we saw in the morning, this wasn't the case. The steep staircase leads you high up into the trees, all the way to a little wooden cabin nestled among the branches.
You better see again. Oj. Ja, det ska inte. Let's go feed. Oh, I can see them.
Ska du ha en macka?
Det där har en smak.
Alltså, varsågod. Hallå! So happy. Det knäckte och knakade. Imagine in the summer. The way the trees have frost on every single branch. Alltså kolla, det är frost ut på hela tippetopparna. This is so typical Christopher and me. He has finished his breakfast by the time I sit down. Like, you are the fastest eater.
As a shark.
Grim is with Signe in the village, grandmother Signe. This is on the same trip as our Sweden trip, so we didn't fly down again to do this. This is on our way home from hanging out with Einar, Fenris and Olivia. Because we needed to do a long drive and we needed to do one night somewhere around here, so we decided why not do 2 nights in a tree cabin? So that's why Grim isn't with us. If we go to our friend's house for a longer time, we're going to take him with us. Okay, so this is the kitchen. There is a sink, a gas stove. There's even a refrigerator. There's a water tank in the cabin to use for washing your hands. There's even a little shower. So you do have a bit of water here, but for any drinking water, you have to bring your own. So in here, we have the bathroom. Here you have a pee toilet. So you pee here and then you can throw away the paper there. You can also do a number 2 in here, but they recommend going number 2 in the outhouse down by the bottom of the treehouse. Mostly they say because of odor and everything. So I think it's a lot more fresh if you just pee here, poop down there. Then you also have a shower. There's also a sink right here so you can wash your hands. But you don't drink the water. You have to bring your own water. So you still have this so you can brush your teeth and wash your hands. Then you have this extremely cozy little nook over here. We put a lot of our stuff here right now. But this, I assume this is definitely, yeah, it's a bed for 2 people if you consider how many people they say this cabin sleeps. 4 up there, 1 there, and he says 2 here. I'm wondering if it's like 2 there and 1 here. But this is so cozy. Well, the birds, we need to go out and put out some more bird food, I think. I hope the squirrel comes back. Look at how beautiful this loft is. It's kind of wild when I film outside. Everything looks black and white because there's so little color with the frost and the snow. Oh my gosh, the birds are right here. It's just the most unreal kind of scenery, you know? I do miss the trees on Svalbard. I miss having the view of frosty winter trees.
I've come to realize that while I still crave adventure in my life, I've started to really long for the slower kind, where the destination has a big focus on nature and days are spent just taking it all in. I like to go places where the thrill comes from outdoor activities or from experiences like feeding the squirrel this morning. In this world that feels like it's becoming more fast-paced as the days go by, I like to look for the opposite. Just to take a moment to listen to the birds, the trees, and the silence of a snow-covered forest.
I think Christopher, that I can say that this is one of the most beautiful places I have ever been in. I love the forest so much. When I was young, we lived with the forest pretty much just like right outside our door. We had a little forest there. We would spend so much time just walking around in there, or, you know, climbing trees, or just kind of like, it becomes a whimsical place. I didn't even know this kind of existed. When we booked it, I also thought that maybe it was going to be a bit gimmicky. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought maybe it wasn't going to be as like proper forest as this is. I thought that maybe it's going to be close to another cabin, you know, more commercial, but this is very much Norwegian cabin style. Like the way you have to bring your own sheets. You don't talk or meet anyone. They just tell you where the key is. It's very cabin. Like on Svalbard, you pick up a key, you go there and you stay. And that's what I absolutely love about it. And I mean, you are in the middle of a little lake. In the middle of the trees, they built this cabin. But it very much feels like a part of the nature.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the woodpecker was pecking on the cabin. I'm assuming he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make my home in here.
Breakfast time.
Oh, we're staying for 2 nights. The price is quite steep, but it's 5,000 Norwegian kroners for a night. We just booked it like normal people, like anybody. So that's the price that it was now. But it sleeps up to 7 people. So if you're staying here 7 people, it's a bit expensive, but I feel like this is so worth it. I'd pay $1 million to be out in nature like this. But they have a bunch of other cabins as well, and I want to stay in all of them because if it's like this, but they're all in nature like this, and they are just around here. Getting here wasn't that easy though. You should definitely follow their instructions and not follow the GPS, which is exactly what they tell you to do. Lesson learned. Follow the people's instructions. But that's okay. It's dinner time here in the little cabin in the woods well, cabin in the trees. And we're gonna eat falukorv och makaroner. A very Swedish meal. Probably Norwegian as well. Very easy, but so tasty. It gets dark quickly. Right now it's 7 and it's very blue outside. Christopher, what do you think? Give us a nice long sentence about your stay here.
It's a nice cabin. It has batteries and water, a little bit of electricity. Quite nice. The weather was a little bit gloomy today, so we didn't have the best view. But
What?
I think it's really beautiful here, especially when it's sun outside.
There, you heard it. You heard it from him, right from the horse's mouth.
What else?
This is definitely a little bit of a kid's meal, but it is delicious nonetheless. So there aren't really any animals that you have to worry about here either. I feel like now coming from Svalbard, anytime you're on the mainland, you're just not really scared at all when you're out in nature because there are no polar bears, which means that everything else is just a step nicer than the polar bears. But I think one thing that you would maybe look out for in these woods is moose, because they can be quite aggressive. You want to avoid them, especially if it's a mama moose. I don't think there are any wolves here, right? Do we have any wolves in this part of Norway? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh my gosh, look. Look at this. Whoa. Alltså, herregud vad fint är det. It's so quiet. There's not a sound in the world. Everybody is asleep. All of the animals are sleeping.
Night fell over the cozy little cabin in the trees, and the stars twinkled brightly in the sky above. And as if this setting wasn't magical enough, a faint aurora came to dance in the darkness. As we went to bed, we did so underneath the trees and the stars and with the northern lights. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week back on Svalbard. Bye!